Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Siu.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about, well, you shouldn't be an entrepreneur first, you should be an employee. And I can kind of speak to this because Neil was really not much of an employee before. When's the last time you were an employee?
When I was 16 and I worked at I was 18 or 19. Yeah, I was in college. I think like 18 or 19 I worked at Hollywood Video, which has now been bankrupt, and it was a Blockbuster competitor.
Wow. Okay, that's a long time. So, I mean, look, the company he worked at is now defunct. But look, here's what I learned from being an employee. I think for me, coming out of college, being able to go into a job where there are processes, systems defined, I had a manager above me, there was structure, and something I could follow was something that was I could take to go into other businesses. It's like, oh, this is how a business is run. You have a manager, you have processes, you have systems. This is how it works. And then you kind of get an idea of what a bad company is. Because actually, I was doing a podcast yesterday, and the first question the guy asked was like, Eric, I see that you changed 9 jobs in your first year as an employee. I was like, yeah, that's true. And what I learned was that, well, I wasn't good to be an employee because I kept changing jobs. And the reason I kept changing jobs was because I kept changing chasing the next opportunity. It wasn't because I was getting fired. It was I kept finding other opportunities and I moved on to the next one. And literally every single time I got to learn about different systems, structures, and different companies. And when I applied to new companies and they interviewed me, they would say, Eric, like, why do you change jobs so much? Like, what's going on? It's not stable. And my parents were really worried all the time. It's like, why are you so unstable? You should be at a job for 4 years at a time. And what I told them was, well, here's the thing. My thing is I'm always about chasing the opportunity. I'm always about growing. So if I find that I'm not growing anymore, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Every single time I said that during the interview, silence, they're okay with it. I ended up getting the job. So my point of saying this is that you should be an employee. And I think it's like starting anything else. When you're looking to get started, when you're 22 years old, 23 years old, you try a bunch of things because you're not really sure what you want to do, what you like. And that was the same thing. I tried a bunch of different things. I found out what I was good at, what I liked. And then from there, I had more confidence to go off and do my own thing.
Yeah, there's a very successful hedge fund guy named Bill Ackman. And Bill Ackman was talking about how everyone wants to go and start their own fund, whether it's a venture capital fund, private equity fund, hedge fund. And he was just like, you shouldn't be doing that until you work for someone. Because when you lose someone's money, and you make a lot of mistakes, that's it. You don't get a second chance. Same with entrepreneurship's a bit different, in which in Silicon Valley, if you make mistakes, people forgive and they'll keep investing in you. But in general, first-time entrepreneurs tend to fail a lot more than serial entrepreneurs from what I've seen. And I bet you the data shows that as well. You need to go and learn from others so you don't make basic mistakes when you're an entrepreneur. You're going to get burned out. You're going to fail. You're going to quit. And the reason being is you're just going to you're going to continually grind at it. You're not going to know a lot of the basics, and you're just going to be like, man, this is hard. It's like a roller coaster. There's so many emotions and ups and downs and good moments and scary moments. And it's like, yeah, of course, if it was that easy, everyone would be an entrepreneur. But if you learn from others and you learn from good people, like if you feel like your boss isn't teaching you much, so that way you won't be like, if you feel he won't or she won't prepare you for being an entrepreneur, then go somewhere else and learn from someone else, get another job, and be direct, being like, look, in 5-10 years, I'm looking to go out on my own. And as you learn from people, you learn the processes, you learn how they grow, you learn how they think, you learn how they deal with pressure. You're much better suited to be an entrepreneur because you'll know how to deal with all these random situations that you face. You still won't be perfect, and you're still going to make a lot of mistakes. You'll just make a lot less. Jack Ma from Alibaba, he had a video as well talking about your first job, second job, and then like in your 30s, you should be an entrepreneur or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't start Alibaba until he was like 30. Like Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon until he was 30.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, I want to be the next Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. They're rare. Heck, actually, even Jack Ma and, Jeff Bezos are rare as well. But you don't have to make a ton of money when you're young. If you look at Warren Buffett, he wasn't super young before he became a billionaire. He made his money later on in life.
Like a 50 plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I'll stop with a quote that I really like, and I forgot who it was from, but everyone wants to win. Nobody's willing to prepare. So you got to take the time to actually prepare. You got to take your lickings, and you're going to take even bigger lickings when you're an entrepreneur. You might even lose it all, but you know what? Because you've taken the lickings in the past, you know how it is. You get right back and back up, and you keep going. So anyway, that is it for today. Go to singlegrain.com/giveaway to get your marketing goodies to grow your business, and we'll see you tomorrow.